Right, all right. We are live. Give me 1 minute. All right, got some lights going. I think we are mostly good here. Got Nigel right here. I don't know if you can see him laying down right next to me, taking a nap. All right, cool. So if you're joining the video, let me know if you can hear me all right. Let me know if the microphone's working decently well. Most of the time it works good, and once in a while I get someone who says I can't hear anything, or one time I had someone say they couldn't see me, which is I think that was on their end. But if you're joining the video, just let me know in the chat that you're here. I go live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time with a different training on something that I think that I really want my clients to understand better. So all these trainings, these live trainings here on my YouTube channel on Wednesdays are meant um, to help further my clients' knowledge and understanding of training and nutrition and what it takes to see really good results. So, I feel like people who aren't my clients should get the same trainings as well. So obviously, this isn't part of their customized program, right? That's what really does the heavy lifting. But this is basically what I'm going to go over today specifically is something that a lot of my clients deal with, which is traveling. All right, so some of my clients travel every single week for work, uh, going through airports. Some clients do it every other week or a couple times a month, and some clients are traveling, by their car, right? Not necessarily flying, but traveling by driving and stuff like that. Every single week. So it's a part of the game of life. It's part of if it's part of your work and your schedule, it's something that you might not be able to get away from. You know what I mean? So it's certainly an obstacle that needs to be planned for in your program with training and with nutrition. But it's not something that we can just kind of use the excuse, oh, I can't take care of myself, I can't stay healthy, I can't get in good shape because of this travel that I do. Because there's tons of people out there who are traveling just as much and who are in amazing shape, right? Um, so yeah, so I mean, just to give a couple of examples, just sometimes you need to know someone personally who's doing it to truly believe that it's doable, right? So Chris, I've been working with for 4.5 years. He was at my wedding 2 years ago, and dude's in his 50s, and he's got visible abs. He's like 11-12% body fat, and he's maintained that for the entire time for 3 to 4 of the last 3 or 4 years. He's essentially maintained that year round. Looks amazing. Um, and he travels quite frequently for work. Maybe not every week, but he travels like 2 or 3 weeks out of a month, a lot of the time. Like he was in Vegas last week. He lives in Florida, so he was in Vegas. Um, he was traveling all over this year. So that's just one example of a guy who's doing it, who's in incredible shape that 99% of guys would switch places with him. When it comes to body composition and physique wise. Another example is Steve, who's been in the program working with me for pretty much 2025, right? The year, almost the year of 2025. So he's in his first year doing it. But in that time, he's been able to lose about 15 pounds of body fat. He's been able to get stronger. He's also another guy in his 50s who literally has visible abs. So and he's traveling almost every week, going to various places for work. Sometimes it's in the car, sometimes it's flying. So just another example of someone who's made it work, learned how to do it successfully, and is literally, no exaggeration, walking around with a better physique than 99% of men out there. Right, Nigel? Tell them about Steve and how he's crushing it. He doesn't say much. Um, Jason as well, right? Jason, I've been working with for 5 years now, and he used to travel more for work in the past. He recently switched jobs and is traveling more for leisure with his family when they can. They're taking many trips throughout Europe. He lives in the UK, so it's easy for him to go to the countries, right around there. So uh, many trips this year, and before that, for a good year or 2 years, he was traveling for work very frequently as well. So again, I don't want to spend any more time on just bragging, but sometimes if I totally resonate with the idea that if you are traveling and you're super busy and you're in airports every week, and it can be easy to make the excuse, well, I can't, I just simply can't get in really good shape, or as good shape as this guy or that guy, because they don't have to travel as much as me. Well, this is where, like, the reality hits, and, like, you kinda have to lose the ego a little bit. Like, you're not special. Like, there's tons of people traveling every single week. There's people who are just as busy as you, who have jobs that are just as important as you, who, have just as many demands and stress and stuff as you have, who are getting it done and are getting in amazing shape. So that's the first thing, is we got to break down this limiting belief that just because you travel for work means you can't be someone who's in really great shape. Okay, so hopefully that helps to some degree, right? Gives you a little bit more belief that it's not only doable, but it's realistic. So let's dive into, I've got 5 key strategies that I send my clients when they are people who travel a lot. These are the 5 key strategies that I want them to implement. And if you're a client of mine, I wanted to do this training because I've never gotten on camera and explained it. I've just sent it to you as an email. And it's really helpful for you guys to hear this in this way, in this more in depth explanation. So jot down some notes if you can. Write these down. The traveling tips, traveling strategies here. Number one, the number one strategy is, if possible, grab some groceries at your destination. All right. If possible, grab groceries at your destination. This can be going to a grocery store near your hotel. This can be um, ordering. I had someone who used to order, what do they call it? Instacart to his hotel a couple days before. He would order Instacart and schedule the delivery on the day that he would arrive at the hotel. That's brilliant. You can literally buy groceries online and deliver it to the hotel that you're going to. And again, at a hotel, we're probably not going to have a kitchen and stuff like that and a stove to cook, right? But you can get stuff like prepackaged protein shakes, Fairlife protein shakes. You can get stuff like fruit. You can get stuff like a higher protein or higher fiber cereal, with some almond milk, right? You can put that almond milk in the fridge. You can get some familiar foods and snacks to keep around. You can get protein bars, right? Between a protein bar a day, a double scoop of protein a day, and a bag of Quest protein chips, what are we looking at? 100 grams of protein right there, just from some 3 simple quick snacks. And then that takes pressure off of you to always be ordering the highest protein option when you have to go out to eat for work or whatever it is, right? So if possible, grab groceries. This is without a doubt the best thing you can do while traveling to stay on track nutrition wise. Um, they also have prepackaged meals at most grocery stores, right? You can get an already made sandwich and just put that in your hotel fridge. You can get, in some cases, they have like at the grocery stores around here. For me, I see like fully made meals that are cooked, like grilled chicken with broccoli and rice, and you just have to put it in the microwave. They have microwaves at hotels, right? They have fridges, they have microwaves, they just don't have usually a stove. So that might be an excellent option, is ordering pre-cooked healthy meals from the grocery store or from Target or from Walmart. They have those grocery sections, right? And then using the fridge and the microwave in the hotel. And that way you don't have to order food out every single meal while you're away. All right. Let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay or live if that makes sense, and that you understand that first strategy to grab groceries. All right. Strategy number 2 is to have 1 to 2 protein shakes per day, okay? This is probably the second best thing you can do after getting groceries, because when we travel, naturally, we eat more fats and carbs, and it's harder to get our hands on enough protein, all right? Um, so whether you're bringing protein powder with you or prepackaged protein shakes with you, that's one way to do it. Or you're gonna have to buy them, while you're there. So when you get to listen, you can get protein shakes anywhere these days. You can get them at the airport once you land. You can get they have the Fairlife protein shakes at every airport I've been to here in the U.S. at least. You can get them at a gas station. You can get multiple protein shake options at a gas station. You can get them at any grocery store. There's going to be a dozen protein shake options. Um, so yeah. And the idea here is this is going to help maintain body composition while you're away, because like I said, we naturally are going to eat more fats and carbs while we're on the go or while we have to eat out for most meals compared to when we're at home, and we're going to eat less protein. So if we counteract that by getting in 50 grams of protein per day from a shake, which is the lowest calorie protein source you're going to probably get unless you've got grilled chicken or shrimp available, which is great if you do, but it's just an easy, simple, convenient way that you don't have to cook to get in 50 grams of protein, which maybe is a third of your protein for the day or a fourth of your protein for the day, really easily. And it just really helps make a difference in maintaining body composition. So you're not losing muscle in the 5 days that you're away and gaining fat. At least maybe you can maintain muscle if you're eating a reasonable amount of protein, even if you do gain a pound of fat or something like that, right? So it makes a huge, huge difference. It also ensures that you're not absolutely starving, because protein is going to help keep you full. All right. So that's strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is to have your 2 or 3 square meals in the day, but keep your snacks to just that protein shake and some fruit. All right. I'll say that again. Have your 2 or 3 square meals. So if you're having lunch and dinner and you do some sort of intermittent fasting schedule, or if you're just eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, have those 3 meals, but don't be snacking on stuff all throughout the day. Um, be really, uh, diligent about keeping your snacks to just the protein shakes and the fruit, or a protein bar if you can, or if you did pick up those Quest protein chips or some other protein based snack, of course go for that. If you've got some Greek yogurt, of course go for that. The idea is we don't want to be snacking on stuff that's unplanned for, As long as we plan for it and it's part of our goal of trying to get in more protein or trying to get in some fruit or some, things like that, um, that's what we want. But we don't want to be mindlessly having chips throughout the day. We don't want to mindlessly be having, other kind of junk food based snacks, because the reality is you're going to go out to eat while you're away, most likely. And most likely, even if you get something healthy, that meal is going to be much higher calorie than you know. It's going to be a 2,000 calorie meal. It's going to be a 4,000 calorie meal. Um, like, not even a question. Like, that you're going to be getting way more calories in your meals out than you would ever have guessed. Um, and that's not your fault. That's just the nature of going out to eat. And when we go out to eat, that's why planning ahead and planning the rest of the day to allow for those extra calories makes such a big difference. The thing is, when we're traveling, we can't really be in control of whether we go out to eat or not sometimes. Sometimes there's just events or occasions that are, where you're going out to eat with coworkers or with clients and things like that. So that's why I say don't add additional calories. Don't eat 4 servings of chips mindlessly throughout the day, because those extra 800 calories are really going to hurt you when you're having a 3,000 calorie dinner anyway. And when you're having 4 alcoholic drinks that day, and when you're, that's, you see what I mean? So limiting snacking, going out of your way to limit snacking, is a game changer. All right. Now, strategy number 4, and this is an absolute game changer as well. And you can use this even when you're not traveling. You can use this anytime you go out to eat. But between appetizers, desserts, and drinks, pick one of those, but not all three. Or even pick zero of those. Appetizers, desserts, drinks. Pick your favorite of the three, or pick none of them if you're bold enough to tell your coworkers or clients, "No, I'm not drinking tonight," or "No, I'm not gonna have dessert," or "No, I'm good. I'm just gonna get my entree." Like, sometimes you gotta have some balls to say things like that, and to not give in when people offer you stuff, or, you know? Um, if you can't stand up for yourself and what you actually want to do, if you actually wanna have some drinks, go ahead and have some drinks, right? But then don't complain later, like, "Oh, I shouldn't have had drinks." Well, you're a man, right? You can choose whether you're gonna have drinks one night or multiple nights, or if you're not gonna drink at all. You're gonna need to have the balls to stand up for what you want to do, and you have to be able to tell people no. You have to be able to tell people, "Sorry, I'm just having 2 drinks tonight. I'm not gonna go for any more. I told myself I'd have 2 tonight." If you can't say that to people, yeah, man, you're gonna struggle in social situations if you can't stand up for that. Um, if you can't say, "No, I'm good without the appetizer. I'm gonna have my entree and leave it at that," or "No, I'm good. I'm not gonna have dessert tonight." That's a valuable skill to be able to stand up for yourself. And again, I want to make it clear, I'm not saying you have to go into every event or every dinner and reject everything that's being offered to you. I will gladly, you might be surprised if you ever have dinner with me or we ever go out somewhere or whatever. Of course, if you're a client of mine, there'll be times where I'll be like, "Yeah, let's get dessert." Well, man, I love cheesecake. I'm getting cheesecake. Or there'll be times where I have drinks on vacation and things like that. So it's not like an every single time type of thing. If it's a special occasion or a special work event or it's a work holiday party that might be coming up and you want to have a drink or a few drinks, make that an occasion where you allow yourself to have some drinks. That's fine too. But what I'm saying is, if you travel often for work and you find yourself in these situations every week, and you're in a position where you actually don't want to be drinking tonight, or you actually don't want to be having dessert tonight, or you actually don't want to be having appetizers on top of your entree tonight, then actually stand up for yourself and say that. Even when people offer you stuff, be like, "No, I'm good. I'm all right. Thank you though. I'm enjoying my, my salmon or my pasta meal or whatever meal you have. Like getting one entree of any entree is and leaving it at that is better than getting a healthy entree plus an appetizer plus drinks plus a dessert. Let me make that clear. You can get the healthiest dish on the menu, but if you add an appetizer, if you add a couple drinks to it, and if you add a dessert, you're eating 5,000 calories. You're eating 4,000 to 6,000 calories worth of food. Whereas if you just get an entree, even if it's the most unhealthy entree on the menu, it's a pasta dish with no protein. All right, it's 2,000 calories probably. It's 2,200 calories, whatever, right? So I hope this makes sense. Let me know in the comments below if this part makes sense and if I'm articulating this the way that I'm hoping that I'm explaining it. So appetizers, desserts, drinks. You're going to pick your, as a general rule of thumb, pick your favorite of the three, but not multiple. And if you're really serious about your results right now, pick none of them. Just get your entree and tell people, "No, I'm not drinking tonight. I haven't been feeling good. I'm not drinking that tonight." All right? That's a game-changing strategy, man. I've come to the conclusion that that's one of the reasons why I can go out to eat pretty much whenever I want and not really worry about gaining body fat. I mean, I don't go out to eat a lot anyway, but there's been phases and periods where I do, where I go out to eat 3, 4 times a week and I don't gain any body fat. And I'm realizing that my habits, and maybe yours too, are different than a lot of people who um, find it difficult to say no to others. I have no problem. Like my friends love drinking. My friends love, some unhealthy foods and things like that, right? I have no problem hanging out with my friends and they might drink 10 beers. They might have 8 drinks or 10 drinks and I'll have 0. And I have no problem being like, "Nah, I'm not gonna have any." Or, "You know what? I'm just gonna have 1 tonight." Or I told myself I'd allow myself to have 2 drinks. I can put myself in any situation, any social situation, and completely control the narrative of what I'm doing. And nobody's gonna impact or influence my ability to do something that I don't wanna do. And it's not because I'm so obsessed with my fitness and my health. I don't like drinking. I like drinking when it's vacation. If I have to drive home, I don't wanna drink. If I have to do something the next day that I need to be productive the next day, I'm not gonna wanna drink. It's just not something that, um, I'm gonna be pressured into doing because to me, there's not much value in doing that. Uh, and same with going out to eat. The reason that I've had phases where I can go out to eat, you know, uh, multiple times a week and not gain any body fat is because I'm never ordering an appetizer. I'm never, almost never ordering a dessert on top of my entree. I'm certainly not ordering drinks with my entree. I'm gonna go and order whatever entree I want to order. If it's a special occasion, sure, I'll have a dessert, right? If it's a birthday, if it's someone's birthday or my birthday, of course, I'm going to have some cake. That's a special occasion. But just generally speaking, going out to eat, I'm not ordering appetizers and drinks and desserts. I'm just getting my entree. And that's a much different experience and a much different amount of calories compared to the person who needs to get all of it or needs to get multiple things. All right. Final strategy number 5. I hope this has been helpful. Strategy number 5 is at each meal you eat, choose a protein source and a vegetable. All right. This is a good way to choose your meals when eating out. Now, let me be crystal clear in saying that just because you choose a protein source or a vegetable doesn't mean it's going to be a calorie friendly meal. What they do at restaurants is they throw in uh, a cup of olive oil on your vegetables to make them taste fucking amazing, right? So that you want to go back there. Man, that was the best broccoli I ever had at that place, right? Because there's a ton of olive oil and really good seasoning and garlic on there. There's nothing wrong with garlic or seasoning or any of this stuff. But yeah, half a cup of olive oil is going to add 500 calories to the meal or whatever it is, right? Um, just because you get a salmon meal doesn't mean it's a calorie friendly meal. It might be a 600 calorie salmon and asparagus meal. The other day, I just posted a video of the Cheesecake Factory, a dish with salmon and some potatoes and asparagus is like 1,700 calories. That's a healthy meal. That's if you're just blindly looking at the menu and I don't tell you the calories, you might pick that as the healthiest option. But the reason why I'm saying pick a meal with a protein source, right, Nigel? And pick a meal with a vegetable is because it gives you the best chance. It gives you the best chance at staying full and getting in 30 grams of protein. If you get something with fish, if you get something with chicken, if you get something with steak or beef or turkey, you're probably better off. You're probably getting 30 to 40 or 50 grams of protein in that meal, which is really good, right? That's what we want in a meal. What a precious guy. Um, and if you're getting some vegetables, you're giving yourself a little bit more of an opportunity to stay full, stay satiated. If you're getting some protein and some vegetables, you're less likely to desire a dessert. You're less likely to desire extra drinks and things like that, right? Now, I'm not saying you can't order pasta or you can't order potatoes or you can't order something else, right? Order whatever you want to order, whatever entree you want to order. Just ask for some protein or vegetables on the side, even if the meal doesn't come with it, right? So, an example would be let's say you're getting a pasta dish. It's just like a straight pasta type of dish with no protein or no vegetables. Ask them, it's gonna cost you $4 extra or whatever. Can you put some grilled chicken in that? Or can you put a piece of grilled chicken on the side for me on that? And they'll say, it's gonna cost extra $4, $5. Yeah, great. Pay the extra $4 to get some grilled chicken on the side of your pasta dish because it's going to be beneficial to get in that extra 30 grams of protein for not many calories. If you're getting egg whites and eggs, if it's a breakfast meal, ask if you can have spinach in the omelet or mixed in with the egg whites or something along, right? Like this is where like you don't have to just go by what exactly is offered. You can ask restaurants for what you want added in, and you can tailor and customize some of these meals for not much extra money to be a little bit more favorable. Okay. So try to get a vegetable and a protein in each meal that you eat out while you're traveling. So hope this was helpful. Again, these are um, strategies that I've been recommending to clients for years now that we've proven they make a huge difference. It makes a huge, huge difference. It helps you to see results while you're traveling often. It helps you to eat a little bit more strategically. It helps you to maintain a better body composition while traveling. These aren't crazy extreme things. I'm not saying eliminate carbs. I'm not saying eliminate sugar. First of all, if you think you're eating 0 grams of sugar, you are incredibly naive. Like you honestly have no idea about your nutrition. You have no clue. If you think currently, and man, if someone's watching this and thinks that they're eating 0 grams of sugar per day, man, it would take me 3 seconds to find some sugar in your diet. Everything there, everything we eat has a little bit of sugar in it. You put ketchup on something, you got sugar in your diet, right? So I'm not asking you to have these extremist approaches that are really unrealistic and that make your quality of life way worse. Imagine trying to travel and trying to avoid every singular gram of carb or every singular gram of sugar. That would suck. That would be really, really incredibly difficult. Um, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm saying this stuff that I just shared with you works incredibly well to build a better body, to have less body fat, more muscle, to be in better shape than the majority of men walking around out there. And also, I'm not even telling you to do anything too hard. Just ask for some protein when you go out to eat. uh, get some protein shakes when you get to your destination. Get some protein shakes and stock up your hotel fridge. Have a protein shake or two per day. That takes 5 minutes a day to drink a protein shake. You don't even have to cook. Like, that's easy. That's an easy ask, right? These are very simple, very straightforward, very convenient things. If this stuff resonates with you and you're not a client of mine, feel free to message me on Instagram if you want to have me coach you through the holidays and help you get in the best shape of your life in 2026. Or you can go to modernmanprogram.com and apply, and we can set up a call and go over it. But if you prefer not to set up a call, that's fine too. I totally get it. I hate setting up calls with people. I get hit up every damn day by people trying to sell me stuff. When you create content online, you get hit up all the time about different businesses trying to sell you stuff. So I almost never jump on calls with people. So what I've done is I've put together a document that explains how my coaching works with the Modern Man program, what you can expect from it, what I would ask of you, and what you can expect from me as your coach. So if you're interested in possibly having me coach you and having my help to get in the best shape of your life, shoot me a message somewhere, whether it's email, whether it's Instagram, and I can even give you that document to see if it's for you, if you're opposed to setting up a call. But if you want to set up a call, that's always the best way to do it because we get to know each other a little bit more. All right. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, 30 minutes, really appreciate you. I go live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll catch you on the next video. Again, I really hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.